Okay. Am I playing? Whoa. Okay. Let's play.
You return battered from the burning wastes, pushing through the brass doors of Lady Yasmin's hookah tea house to deliver the signed treaty. The sanctuary buzzes with Middle Eastern flamenco guitar and the sweet scent of mint tea as the beautiful hostesses turn their attention toward your arrival. What do you do?
Okay. Show the Sun Treaty.
You present the parchment, its magical seals glowing. Yasmin traces them with relief, murmuring that the West is secure. As she signals her staff to bolt the doors, roll for insight to sense her mood.
Oh man.
Lady Yasmin's expression remains a polished mask of cool elegance. You can't tell if she's truly relieved or merely calculating her next move. As she takes the parchment, her hostesses usher the last patrons out and bolt the heavy brass doors with a final heavy thud.
Whoa.
How do you react to being sealed inside the empty tea house?
Whoa. Play it chill.
Yasmin sets the treaty on a low cedar table, her eyes scanning the room as the final bolt slides home. You have done more than you know, Warlock, she says, her voice losing its melodic lilt for a sharper, military edge. A hostess approaches with a silver tray of cool water and linen. Rest your weary bones. The tea house is closed to the world now. Yasmin leans in. I was preparing for a war on two fronts. You've given me one less fire to douse, but the city is still a powder keg. DM, stop here. What do you ask her
See
about this
what's going
sudden
on.
change in atmosphere?
Pretty cool. Nice. There we go. Behind the thick cedar doors, the city hums with a force of natural sounds. Into the cloud of headlights. Guard patrols. The Yasmin ignores the noise. Follow me. Whoa. Stone stairwell. I'll take the lead. Descend.
Yasmin sets the treaty on.
He sends the cool damp earth. Massive oak table draped in tea-stained maps, behind the TV's card arm. Woman named Rashida tests the edge of a curved blade. Whoa. What are we doing down here? I ask, then smoothly wander around the area, getting a feel for the place. What do I see?
Yasmin sets the treaty on a low cedar
The heart of
table,
my network.
her eyes scanning the room as the final bolt slides home. You have done more than you know, Warlock, she says, her voice losing its melodic lilt for a sharper, military edge. A hostess approaches with a silver tray of cool water and
I
linen.
ignore them.
Rest your weary bones. The tea house is closed to the world now.
Look for some
Yasmin
food.
leans in. I was preparing for a war on 2 fronts. You've given me one less fire to douse. But the city is still up. Rashida chuckles, the sound like silk over stone. She slides a plate of salt-crusted dates and a cup of steaming mint tea across the edge of the map table. A warlock's hunger is a dangerous thing to leave untended, she purrs, though her eyes never leave your hands. As you reach for a date, you notice a small blood-stained scrap of parchment tucked under the fruit. A runner's manifest.
Whoa.
DM, stop here. Do you eat the date and ignore the scrap, or discreetly pocket the message?
I eat the date and read the message. Nice. Whoa. Whoa.
The date is honey sweet, but the scrap beneath it is stained with drying blood. It reads, Outpost 3 Dark. The dunes are walking. Yasmin watches you closely. The silence from the east is a predator, Warlock. It swallows my best people. Karim grunts, pointing to the central map where 3 runner pins have been
What
placed.
is this
Total
supposed
blackout.
to be? A
DM,
job?
roll for investigation to analyze the missing routes. A job? Yasmin laughs, a sharp, cold sound. It is a rescue. If the Smoke Guild falls, your name is next on the Sun God's list. You are as much a fugitive as Tariq now. Karim grunts, pulling you closer to the tea-stained map table. The outposts didn't just go silent, they were erased. He points to a growing void on the eastern border where every runner has vanished. What do you see in the pattern of these missing routes?
What? That wasn't just clear. Why should I help you?
Because if we fail, the Sun Gate becomes a tomb, Yasmin says, her voice dropping to a low, dangerous whisper. You saw the dragon rise. The silence from the east isn't peace, it's an inhalation before a scream. If the Smoke Guild falls, the Sun God will need a scapegoat for the city's collapse. Your magic makes you the perfect target. How do you respond to her grim ultimatum?
Okay, well, whatever. I will help. Give me the dates. Let's go. Nice.
Rashida slides the bowl of dates toward you, her smile sharpening. Eat well, Warlock. The road to the Sun Gate is paved with more than just hunger. Yasmin nods to Kareem,
All
who
right.
begins packing the maps.
I follow.
The coordination of the silence suggests a singular mind is directing the desert
As we
tribes.
move.
We need to reach the eastern wall before the city is blinded completely. What is your first move?
Whoa. Nice. There's the dates.
The shops are frantic caches of illicit goods. You see runners burning ledgers,
Whoa.
while old Najib, the locksmith, tosses a set of masterwork thief's tools onto his bench. Take them, Warlock, he rasps. Locks won't hold back
Whoa.
what's coming from the east.
There's
Yasmin
an
stares at the
invasion
maps growing void.
happening.
It's a crescent of silence. They are surrounding the city from every direction. What do you make of the locksmith's grim gift? Yasmin shakes her head, her eyes fixed on the empty expanse of the map. An invasion is loud, Warlock. This is an erasure. They aren't just attacking. They are systematically blinding us.
All right,
Every
let's
scout
go.
you sent to the Bone Gate has vanished without a sound. Kareem taps a blackened arrow against the table. It's too coordinated for raiders. There is a singular mind closing the loop around the city. DM. Yasmin throws a heavy cloak over her shoulders. Then we move. The Sun Gate is the city's highest point. We'll see the horizon from there. Kareem stops you at the tunnel mouth, his scarred hand
Whoa.
trembling slightly.
It's magic.
Wait, look at the map again. He points to the ink. It isn't just dry. The symbols for the eastern outposts are physically fading away. This isn't just an army. Warlock, it's an erasure. The fading ink doesn't just vanish. It feels eaten. Your
Whoa.
arcana senses a cold, void-like resonance humming through the maps. An ancient predatory magic tied to the shifting sands. This isn't a mere army. It is a living darkness, consuming the very concept of the East. The symbols are ghosts, Yasmin whispers. We are being hunted by a god mind. Do you mask your magical signature or blast through?
Let's move. Move, hurry.
Heavy boots suddenly thunder down the stone stairs. A city watchman bursts into the guild,
Oh.
clutching a bloody ear.
Oh, shit.
Lights in the dunes, he gasps. Thousands of green lanterns, there at the Sun Gate.
Whoa.
Outside, the massive city alarm bells begin to toll, a rhythmic, iron scream. Yasmin sprints for the exit. We run now. Do
Yes.
we push alleys or take to the rooftops? Yasmin leaps for a wall ladder. The heights, it is. Tariq, lead the way. You burst onto the sandstone roofs. The cool night air is shredded by tolling bells, and the east is a jagged line of sickly emerald fire bobbing in the dark. Suddenly, a panicked sun guard archer levels his bow at you from a nearby ledge. Stay back. No one passes during the alarm. DM. Roll for intimidation to cow him, or acrobatics to vault the gap and disarm him. Your eyes flare with eldritch menace, and the archer's hands tremble so violently his arrow clatters uselessly against the stone. I didn't see anything. Pass, he stammers, scrambling backward. Keep moving, Yasmin shouts, leaping a gap between buildings. To the east, The emerald fire isn't just lanterns, it's a moving sea of green sparks scaling the walls. How do you pick up the pace?
Run. Oh man, this is gonna be wild. Can't wait to see the image it makes.
Your lungs burn as you leap across the gap, the rhythmic tolling of the bells vibrating in your chest. Below, the streets are a river of panicked citizens, but up here, the air is sharp with the scent of sulfur.
Whoa.
The sun gate looms ahead, its white stone stained by the sickly emerald glow of goblin firepots raining from the dunes. Tariq skids to a halt on a ledge, pointing at the wall's base, where shadows are physically scaling the heights. They're breaching the lower gates, he shouts over the wind. The guards won't hold. Do you charge the breach, or find a high vantage point to unleash your magic?
And do Eldritch Blast into the area and yell for the guards to aim their bows, aim their arrows that way.
You haul yourself onto a high spire, your cloak snapping in the gale. Below, the emerald tide crashes against the white stone of the sun gate. Archers, loose on my mark. You bellow, your voice cutting through the screaming bells. Purge the shadows. As you begin to chant, a shadow leaper clears the parapet. Blades of black glass aimed at your throat.
Whoa.
Energy coils around your hands like violet serpents.
Oh man.
DM. Roll for a spell attack to blast the leaper out of the air.
No. I got an 8 though. Okay. Ooh.
The violet energy crackles from your fingertips, but the leaper's mid-air twist is too quick. The blast shatters a stone gargoyle instead.
Whoa.
Just as the black glass blade lunges for your heart, Yasmin's cloak flutters beside you, her own steel parrying the blow with a shower of sparks. The sun gate.
This music is interesting.
Green fire and screaming steel. The midnight air fights as you, Yasmin, and Tariq sprint across Al-Hazar's moonlit rooftops. A 20-foot gap over a panic-stricken plaza looms ahead. Roll for athletics. What do you do?
Whoa.
Your fingers scrape the terracotta as you fall short, dangling precariously over the screaming crowds. Steady, warlock. Tariq grunts, hauling you up. Ahead, a slick dome blocks the path.
Whoa. Well, okay, so if you scrape the terracotta, you fall short. Whoa. Angling closely over this screaming crowds. There were just enemies. Did we attack them? Let's fight. Nice, we're gonna fight now.
Tariq hauls you up just as a shadow. Leaper drops from a
Whoa.
higher ledge, blocking the slick dome. Its blade drips with a sickly green ichor. They're already within the walls. Tariq hisses, brandishing his daggers. Yasmin draws her blade. Don't let it slow us down. Clear the path. The assassin lunges at you. How do
Oh,
you
10.
respond?
Wow.
A
Okay.
bolt of violet energy surges from your palm, striking the goblin square in its chest and throwing it back across the slick tiles. Yasmin follows through with a blur of steel, her rapier drawn.
Oh man.
One down, many to go.
Elder's Blows.
The second goblin snarls, circling your flank with
Nice.
a jagged, rusted knife. What is your move?
Whoa.
Your violet blast catches the circling goblin in the shoulder,
Goblins,
spinning
okay.
him across the mossy dome. He shrieks, green blood staining the stone. Yasmin pins the first wounded foe against the ledge, but the second recovers quickly. It lunges low, its jagged blade grazing your ribs in a stinging line of fire. Watch your flank.
Oh.
Tariq barks, keeping his distance from the fray.
Oh. Yasmin gonna fight? Ooh.
The violet spark dies in your hand as a loose tile slips underfoot. Your blast strikes a nearby chimney, showering you in blinding soot. Watch out, Yasmin cries, her rapier flashing to parry a lethal blow meant for your throat.
Whoa.
But the first goblin still manages to rake its rusted knife across your arm.
Alright.
The
Let's see what we
creatures
got
are
here.
desperate, sensing your momentary distraction.
What's this guild favor? Let's use that. Call assistance. Ooh.
You wrench the guild's brass signal from your belt and blow a sharp, piercing note. From a shadowed
Whoa.
window above, a heavy iron bolt whistles through the air, punching through the first goblin's throat and pinning it to the roof.
Oh.
The guild answers. Tariq shouts, emboldened.
Nice.
Yasmin turns her blade toward the survivor.
Ooh.
Finish it, Warlock. Before more arrive, the remaining goblin hisses, preparing to flee. What is your move? Roll for attack.
This is noise.
Your violet beam slams into the goblin, throwing its charred body off the dome. Silence falls for a heartbeat, broken only by the scrap of claws against stone. More shadows rise from the gutters. New scouts, eyes fixed on your guild signal.
Like more
They're
appeared.
swarming the roof. Yasmin warms blood on her blade. We need to move. Tariq points to the barracks ahead. The gate is close.
Oh.
Your
Yikes.
sickle bites deep into the goblin's shoulder, sending it tumbling off the roof with a screech.
Music.
No time to celebrate. Tariq shouts, already halfway across the next gap. Yasmin leaps toward the barracks roof, landing in a graceful crouch. You reach the final ledge, the massive stone of the sun gate looming directly ahead. How do you execute the final crossing to the military stairs? Roll for athletics.
Whoa. Oh wow.
Your boots skid on the edge of the stone barracks, but you lunge forward, catching the lip of the flat roof. Tariq hauls you up just as the first shadow leapers hiss from the gutters behind you. No more games, Yasmin shouts, pointing to the massive stone stairs leading up the sun gate. 10 soldiers level spears at you from the landing. How do you announce yourselves to the guards?
Cool. Is there any other? Okay. Oh, wait, what? Massive sensors of this intense soldiers level spears? What? Yeah. Stand aside. Okay, what happened?
The
Just
soldiers
chilling
lower
now?
their spears as Yasmin's presence commands the line. You reach the parapet, finding General Rahim al-Mansur pacing behind a row of archers. He is a mountain of a man with a soot-stained beard and eyes like cold flint.
Ooh.
Smoke Guild. He barks, eyeing your rogues. Titles won't hold these walls. I need killers, not scholars.
Oh.
What can your magic actually do for my men?
Okay. I can blast them. Blast people.
Rahim snorts, his hand resting on the hilt of his heavy broadsword. Fire, is it? We've plenty of pitch, but little that seeks the heart of a monster like magic does. He points a scarred finger toward the darkness beyond the battlements, where green lights flicker like dying stars. Position yourself at the north embrasure. If you can break the first wave's momentum, I'll believe you're more than just a loudmouth. The guild doesn't send children to do a soldier's work. Rahim, Yasmin adds, her presence lending weight to your words. Trust the boy's spark. The general grunts, turning back to his line. We'll see. Archers, steady.
Why do I need to help them? He's being a dick. I don't want to help. Yasmin, let's go. I move on and find my own path to defeating the goblins.
General Rahim's face hardens into stone. You think this is a bazaar, where you can browse for a better deal. This is my wall, and we are under siege. You man
Fine,
the
I'll
line,
do it,
you are
fine.
a deserter, and I don't tolerate either. Yasmin pulls you aside, her voice a sharp whisper. Dorin, put your pride away. If the gate falls, there is no city left to find a path. Rahim's eyes flash with a sliver of grudging respect. Good. The city doesn't care who you serve, boy, as long as you keep the green bloods off its stones. He turns to the battlements, raising a scarred hand. A heavy silence falls over the wall, broken only by the creak of 100 bowstrings. Below, the emerald tide surges closer, hissing in the dark. Draw!
Okay.
Rahim roars. Can you spot the leader in the shifting shadows?
Well, it's a cool
Roll for
picture, though.
perception.
Yeah.
The blinding glare of the emerald lanterns and the rising dust from the desert floor make the horde a single writhing mass of shadow. You cannot pick out a commander amidst the shifting, chaotic lights below. I see nothing but filth. Rahim bellows, his patience thin. He drops his scarred hand with a roar. Fire! The thunderous snap of 100 bowstrings echoes across the parapet as the first volley of black shafts arcs into the night.
Alright. This damn music. Something with filth. Wait. Whoa. Dude, I spy for Goblin Leader. I'm all I'm looking for. Okay. Whoa, shit.
The arrows crash into the goblin tide, but as the dust settles, a chilling sight emerges. Standing in silent, perfect phalanx behind the chaotic green horde are linen-wrapped sand mummies.
And
They
mummies.
march with a machine-like precision that makes the goblins look like children. Nearby, Unlit pitch cauldrons sit heavy on the stone. How do you react to this unnatural alliance
Okay.
of the living and the dead?
Yeah, I'll burn them. Let's go.
You channel a spark of eldritch power into the unlit pitch. With a sudden deafening crackle, the cauldrons erupt into towering orange flames. Pour them, Rahim roars,
Oh,
his eyes gleaming
pour
in the
them.
firelight. Send them back to the hells they crawled from.
Wow.
As the molten fire spills
Damn, look
down
at this
the
picture.
wall, how do you focus your energy to fan the flames toward the mummies? Roll for attack.
Whoa. This is sick. Man. Wow.
The pitch ignites, setting the mummies ablaze in a grisly chain reaction. They march on, silent torches in the night.
Whoa, okay,
Burn,
let's go.
you bastards, Rahim
Oh.
bellows, leaning far over the parapet
Yeah,
to
this
signal the
picture's
tower.
cool.
Suddenly, a jagged bone spear hurtles from the dark with impossible speed, aimed at the general's throat.
Oh,
Does anyone
what?
have a lightning
The
back?
general
Your
died?
hand snatches,
No
only
way.
empty air, as the jagged bone spear whistles past your fingers.
Oh.
It strikes General Rahim with sickening force.
Oh.
The white tip erupting through the back of his neck in a spray of crimson. He staggers, a wet,
Oh, wow.
choking sound escaping his lips as he collapses back
Oh.
into your arms. The soldiers nearby freeze, their faces pale with terror. What is your immediate reaction as the commander bleeds out?
I put him aside and yell medic, then tell the army, follow me, and we dive in, swords ready.
Rahim's weight is dead in your arms, the spear having done its grim work. Your cry for a medic is swallowed by the roar of the Emerald Horde. The lieutenant stares at the blood, his sword trembling on the stones. Yasmine grips your
Whoa,
arm. The
dude.
men are breaking, Warren. Rahim is gone.
All the
Lead them,
mummies.
or the gate falls. The sergeants look at you, a soot-stained warlock. Who are you to lead us? One snarls. How do you prove you're in control? Roll for intimidation or
What?
persuasion.
Come on, I am the leader. Yes.
The lieutenant's blade clatters to the stone as you loom over him, eyes blazing with eldritch fire. Your voice thunders over the roar of the horde. Look at me. Rahim is gone, but I am still standing. Do you want to die like cattle, or do you want to hold this gate? The sergeant's sneer vanishes,
Okay.
replaced
Yes.
by wide-eyed
Archer,
awe.
shoot
Snaps a
the
salute.
mummies.
Give
The
the
rest of
order,
you,
Warlock.
follow
We're
me.
yours.
But going in, I jump down. I battle. Sending magic and swords everywhere. Whoa.
The archers release a thunderous volley, pinning
Damn
the charred
music.
mummies to the sands. For Isle Hazar, the lieutenant screams, leading the charge as
Whoa.
Rahim's blood cools on the stone as green fire pots scream overhead, filling the air with the stench of sulfur. Archers grip their bows, faces pale with terror, waiting for your command. What do you do?
Oh, that was cool, but I think we're going to take a break. All right, first video.